Hey guys, my name is Jake from today'siphone.com, and this week has been strange. As most of you probably know, Apple announced the iPhone 4S and some updated iPods and a couple other things at the Let's Talk iPhone event on Tuesday the 4th, and we'll get to that in a sec. But first, I'm sure I don't have to tell any of you that the day after, on Wednesday the 5th, it was announced that Steve Jobs had died. I procrastinated doing this video for as long as I possibly could, mostly because I don't really know what to say. I mean, obviously I didn't know the guy at all. I talk about gigabytes and hard drives and screen sizes. I don't really talk about people dying and stuff, but I felt like I couldn't not say anything because he's done so much. He's impacted the world in so many ways. I mean, the fact that most of the people found out about his death on devices that he invented is huge. That's weird. Just as I'm talking about this, my friend sent me a picture of a Steve Jobs memorial, and I think this pretty much sums it up. You know, just filled with post-its, messages, flowers, pictures, candles, apples, anything. I mean, this guy impacted so much about our world. I mean, even if you don't like Apple, they've influenced the entire spectrum of computers, of cell phones, of media devices in general, and the world would be a very different place if he wasn't in it. I don't want to keep on babbling like an idiot. I just want to say thank you, Steve Jobs. You will be surely missed by countless individuals, and rest in peace. If you haven't seen Steve Jobs' 2005 commencement speech at Stanford, I definitely recommend you watching it. It's a great, tribute to him. It's a great way to remember him. So yeah, link to that down below in the description. And also, he narrated a Think Different commercial for Apple that never actually aired. It's from '97, and that also is just a great example of the kind of man that he was. So the link to that is also in the description, so definitely go check both of those out. Okay, moving on. As I said in the beginning of this video, Apple did announce the iPhone 4S this week. They also announced some slightly refreshed iPods and something called Siri, which is the voice assistant feature we've been hearing a lot about. It's all pretty cool. I'm not going to go over it all here again because I already made a video on it, so I will put a link to that in the description and also maybe somewhere here for you to click. But just to run down the release dates again, the new iPod Nano is on sale now. The new iPod Touch goes on sale on the 12th. iCloud and iOS 5 both come out on the 12th. And the iPhone 4S goes on sale on the 14th. So if you're interested in seeing my full in-depth roundup of everything that Apple announced, definitely go check that out after this video, of course. But since Tuesday, a lot of stuff has been going on. First, and in my opinion probably the most exciting thing, is the fact that Sprint will not only offer the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 4S, but they are going to do it with unlimited data plans. Sprint confirmed this week that they will keep the unlimited data plan alive. Basically, the iPhone is going to have the same data plans as every other smartphone on the carrier, which is awesome, awesome news. So you can go check out the Sprint website for full details, but you can get unlimited data and 450 minutes for just $69.99 a month. And if you talk on the phone a lot, you can go for the Simply Everything plan, which is unlimited data and calling for $99 a month. Now, this is really good news, obviously, because as of now, Sprint is the only carrier in the US that you can get an unlimited data plan with a new iPhone. All your prospective iPhone 4S owners out there, or maybe if you've already pre-ordered, which carrier did you go with? Did you go to Sprint for the unlimited data, or did you stick with your current AT&T or Verizon carrier? Let me know in the comment section down below. And speaking of the people that pre-ordered the iPhone 4S, there were a lot of them. A record-breaking number, in fact. AT&T reported that they processed 200,000 iPhone 4S pre-orders in the first 12 hours of the device going on pre-order, which makes it the most successful iPhone launch of iPhone launches. If you check the Apple website right now, you'll see that the shipping time has moved up from arriving at your house on the 14th to shipping in about 1 to 2 weeks. Obviously, this is because everybody's bought all the pre-ordered iPhones. 1 to 2 weeks isn't really that bad. I hope that we don't see that number going up and up and up like we did with the iPad 2. Only time will tell. Now, of course, you always have the option of going at 4 in the morning to your Apple store and standing in line on the 14th to get one. But with the amount of pre-orders, I don't think it would be far-fetched to say that this iPhone launch is going to be absolutely insane at the stores and at home. So, get prepared. Now, I have to admit, I was a bit surprised at the initial success of the 4S, mostly because, personally, I was disappointed. I wanted a 5, and partly because really wanted to stop talking about iPhone 5 rumors over and over and over again. Obviously, that's not going to be happening, so there are still a ton of unanswered questions regarding the iPhone 5 that unfortunately were not addressed at the keynote on the 4th. You know, where are all of these case renderings coming from? What about the reports of the bigger screen size and the teardrop design? There's a full roundup of the unanswered iPhone 5 questions on today's iPhone, link below. But unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit longer, hopefully not too long, before we finally know the answers to these questions. I think there will be an iPhone 5 eventually. Well, I mean, obviously there will be an iPhone 5 eventually, but I mean, it probably just wasn't ready to be launched yet, and Apple had to launch a device. People were on the verge of rioting if they didn't. So, we'll see. And finally, to end on a lighter note, I want to show you guys this awesome video from this YouTube channel that I'm not going to try to pronounce. I'll put the name down there somewhere. And it's basically, you know, those like really artsy white background inspirational videos that Apple does for their products. We saw the one for the iPhone 4S just recently. It's just people sitting there like Apple executives and members of the team that created the device, and they just talk about how much better it is than everything out there, how much better it is than everything that they've previously done, how it's going to change the world, revolutionize anything or whatever. A couple guys got together and did a parody of that. It's really funny, but keep in mind that there is some explicit language and alcohol abuse, so may not be for the faint of heart, but I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a good laugh. Alright, well that's all the big news for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Definitely keep in mind that the links to all of these toys I talked about in this video are in the description down below, so definitely go give those a look. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, talk about iOS 5, iPhone 4S, or, you know, share your thoughts on Steve Jobs, or anything else, feel free to do so at twitter.com/TIPJ. I'm sorry I've been a bit spotty with the @replies lately. I have midterms for the next couple weeks, so I'm going to be pretty busy, but I'll do my best. And as always, for more news, views, reviews, and much more about everything I talked about in this video, definitely head over to today'siphone.com.